Do you think you know the Atkins Diet? Well, think again. Our guest in our studio today is Dr. Eric Westman, author of the book, The New Atkins for a New You. And he's here to clear up a few things about the diet that has been around for decades. Welcome to the show, Dr. Westman.
Thank you so much.
Now, this is exciting, but what makes this the new Atkins? How is this different?
Well, there are lots of things that are new in the new Atkins. We've updated it with the science that's been done over the last 10 years, but made it much more flexible. Ooh. So it's easier than ever to do Atkins.
Okay, that's what I like to hear, flexibility. Now, I know when I've heard of Atkins, what I think about is, okay, you limit your carbs. That's how you do it. You just take the carbs out of your diet. What's happening in our bodies when we have all these carbs in our systems?
So Atkins has always been about eating foods that don't raise the blood sugar. Okay. So can I ask you to do a little demo with me?
Sure.
That'd be all right?
Sure.
So guess how much sugar there is in the human bloodstream?
Naturally, I'm going to guess maybe like a cup.
A cup. So that's a cup too much.
That's too much.
Guess again.
Half a cup.
Half a cup is that much? No, too much.
Still too much.
There's 1 teaspoon of sugar in the human bloodstream.
You're kidding.
Amazing, huh? So here's what happens when you overload the teaspoon of sugar. Can you hold the bloodstream sugar there for me, please?
Bloodstream sugar.
Yeah, so now you're eating sugar and starch, and here are the 5 servings of starch and sugar you're supposed to eat by the authorities out there.
The pyramid.
But now we do actually store some sugar in our body, so I'll put that there. But now, anytime you overwhelm your sugar storing capacity, you make fat. So this blue bucket here is actually the fat.
So this bucket is basically like my thighs.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But you just keep eating the sugar and you overwhelm the sugar storage and then it becomes fat. So that's what happens when you eat too much sugar.
So that's what's happening when I eat this giant cup of jelly beans here.
That's right.
So basically what we can do is limit the carb intake and eat some great foods for our system. I noticed that over here we have some, what looks to me like delicious. I just want to dive right in. This is stuff that I need to have in my pantry for the Atkins diet.
And this is one way to do Atkins. There are many ways to do it. But so eggs and tuna and almonds and berries, avocado, cheese, salami, lemons.
Fruit. I've always heard that the Atkins diet, you can't have the fruit, but you can do fruit.
In the new Atkins, we explain that you can start at any one of 4 phases. And in the maintenance phase, you have fruit in that. So you may be able, if your body responds and can tolerate it, you can have the berries.
So one of the misconceptions is, you think of someone on the Atkins diet, you think of them having this big plate with steak and like a pound of bacon on it, but that's not necessarily what we're doing.
Well, those foods are okay, but there's much more variety, and that's the key to being able to do it for a lifetime, is you have to have delicious foods that are even more tasty than the food you were eating before.
One of the things that people who have done the Atkins diet, one of the things they complain about, headaches, fatigue in those first couple of weeks of doing it, but you've come up with a way to eliminate some of those side effects.
Yeah, some people have headache and fatigue when they transition from burning the sugar to burning the fat. Mm-hmm. But that's easy to remedy. It's just a little salt substitute, just like a bouillon cube, 1 or 2 a day. And we explain that in the book.
Oh, wow. So that's the thing that people complained about. They can completely get rid of it.
That's right.
I noticed that there's tofu over here. Is this something, the Atkins diet is now something that maybe vegetarians can do?
Well, absolutely. Tofu doesn't raise the blood sugar much. So it's a food that, in fact, lots of vegetarian foods are fine on Atkins. So you can do a vegetarian Atkins.
A lot of moms are watching this morning, getting their kids ready for school. When they come home, they're going to make dinner for their families. Is this something that's easy for them to stick to even when they're making food for their entire family?
Yeah, so one easy thing to do is just to keep the meat and the starch and the vegetables separate on the plate. So if not everyone is eating Atkins, then you can have the starch for the child who's active and can tolerate it okay.
So it's something that you can actually maintain it's a lifestyle rather than maybe a yo-yo diet like you see a lot of the Hollywood fads.
Right. So we teach you how to go through all 4 phases if you need it, or to start at maintenance. Sometimes that's all you need so that you can eat this way and eat healthy for a lifetime.
Well, this is fantastic. A new Atkins for a new you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. But before we go, I have a gift for you.
Oh, I love gifts.
So I heard that you were a Carolina fan. Is that right?
Well, I'm a Carolina graduate, yes.
Well, I'm a Duke fan from Duke, and
So you're my arch rival, actually.
So I went over there to Chapel Hill to pick up a shirt for you.
Look at this.
Of course, if you put on the Carolina shirt, I have to put on my Duke shirt. You know, they won it this year, remember?
Yes, they did. Well, we won it last year. Thank you very much.
True.
The rivalry will always exist. You're so sweet to bring this. Thank you. And even though you're a Dookie, I'll still let you come back to our show sometime.
That would be great.
It's a pleasure having you here, and thank you again so much. The book, again, is The New Atkins for the New You. Definitely go out, pick it up, check it out, and don't go anywhere. We have more ways to balance your life coming up.